vehicles created. It's quite an exciting and mind-boggling moment for me, and if you see me in this mood, definitely I am bringing something more exciting, more captivating, something which has the capacity of efficiency and sufficiency. And today I visit the threshold of Mirrozy Autos as well in Accra, where we have to take a different turn to look at the 2020 Nissan Rogue. Now, the core or the question that comes to mind this time, and for us to put all these dimensions together to see what is Nissan bringing on board on the 2020 Nissan Rogue. But for me and for many others, they see this to be another sharp turn that Nissan probably is taking to make a good use to extort money from car users. But this, I believe, it has nothing to do with that. But this has a definition and a clear-cut instinct that most people will be looking for in a car that has the pride to flash and to roll on the ground on the road map like the Rogue 2020. Now, the Rogue 2020 is actually a self-injected fuel 2.0-liter engine. It looks much smaller than the 2019 Rogue actually. For me, it looks much and probably more like sophisticated like the 2017 Nissan Qashqai. Or probably you can say the Honda CR-V in a smaller version or any other car which falls within that same class. But this is a more defined process of vehicular or automotive intelligence that Nissan decided to bring on board. For me, the 2.0-liter engine to me is the best thing that Nissan has done over the years, because this to me is the perfect definition of fuel efficiency over the years. Look at how it is. It doesn't look so robust like its sibling or sister cousin. We can talk about the Murano, which looks much bigger than this, which is a 3.5-liter V6 engine. It comes through all the brands. But this has a perfect definition of 3 or 4 trims or so. It has the S, it has the SV, and then the SL definition. This we have here is the Rogue Sport. We want to have a clear-cut definition. We have to have a clear feeling. We want to have a clear distinction of how this car will fare on the road today, and why I think you should buy the Nissan Rogue 2020, the Sports Edition from Mirrozy Automobiles. Join me. The Nissan Rogue 2020, like I said before, is a direct injected inline engine, 4-engine. If I say it's a direct injected, actually 2.0-liter engine. It has a very clear LED light which runs around this, and it gives you a clear definition and a clear look, perfect definition or distinction of a car of its standard. Well, you can talk about the crossover SUVs like its sibling, the Murano, another class that we have seen over the years. Nissan has come up with a lot of dimension in the Nissan Armada, the Pathfinder, and also its luxurious brand, which is the Infinity. We have done a yeoman's job over the years. But why I think this is a perfect vehicle is when I open the bonnet. So let's see what is behind here. Well, I'm leaving no stone unturned. So this is the 2.0-liter engine that we are looking at. With this, you are going to save a lot of fuel on the highway or when you're driving through town. You don't need to look for more expectations like why you have to spend so much on fuel. This is a perfect look for me, and the greatest thing that has ever happened in this year reviewing the car. This is the first car I'm reviewing this year which has a 2.0 liter engine capacity, and you can see with all the other things as it is there. Well, we shall take this out and see how this feels on the road. That with this and the Qashqai, you see the normal emblem, the normal distinction, the normal feeling when you see the Nissan with this kind of wheels being applied to both, even with Amanda and then the Infinity has the same kind of Nissan-ness, if I have to put it, and embodied or entwining them, and it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting. It's awesome. It's beautiful to see how this is that. I see this to many others are saying it has no about price or just a 2070 version of Qashqai or things so, because when you are looking for something more sporty, something more comfortable, something more smooth on the road. This is the perfect definition of what we expect to see over the years. And Nissan has done it again, and they are leaving no stone unturned to hit on the road. And putting this on the road map, the Rogue 2020 has a clear definition to hold you for the best and break the bank. I'm going to break the bank for this and get this right at the moment to have a feel of how this will fare on the road, because this is the perfect definition in all conditions, traction and other situations, ABS, blind monitoring controls, lane departure and everything, cruise control. It has all this, Apple CarPlay, everything. It's in full support. So with this, we are going in it and to see how the luggage compartment and a few other things fare against each other. Right, so looking at this, let's look at the luggage compartment. I'm not much interested in looking at if this is 23 or 230 cubic feet, or it's 400 cubic feet, 500 cubic feet. But the most interesting thing I see in the Rogue Sport 2020 is it has more breathing space for the luggage compartment. For camping or for whatever you want to use this for, you can pack as much luggages or whatever you intend to keep here as much as you can. It has a free space, you have a more breathing space where even 5 adults can sit and have a proper feel. You can see, but it is a true definition of space. If you have to compare this to the Murano 2020, this I think is a bargain because they have similar luggage space, and which everybody will be looking for when you want to carry your luggages or your goods for camping and wherever you want to go with this. And just like any other class of vehicles in this category, you can see that you can even uphold with this. You can see this. This can be pushed forward. So you see, with this, I think Nissan could have been more audacious, or they could have promoted this brand in a more sophisticated manner, since the Rogue Sport is the first edition in this year. The Rogue has been here for many years, as we've seen, but this year has been the first time, and being debuting at the first time, we think this can be done in a more productive way, or more aligned to the vehicular expectations from most Nissan users over the years. I've seen the Rogue over the years, but this brings a different feeling to me, and I think the reason why we have the Sport on this must be tested on the road for us to have the nitty-gritty and the feel of the 2.0 direct injected 4 engine for this and for the rest of the years to come. Right, so the Rogue as well is seated on a 19-inch wheel. Each wheel I think is quite audacious for a sport feeling or a sport audacious vehicles in this standard compared to the Murano, which falls within the same class. When we look at things, the wheels and others which is slightly above, like the Infiniti QX80 having about 22 inches wheel. This is a sportier vehicle of this standard 2.0 with a 19-inch wheel. I think it's perfectly in a great shape for everybody who will be interested in purchasing a car like this, looking like not more exotic or more expensive wheels. Well designed, so nice, like the usual Murano wheel builds is, you can see. And when you come inside, let's look at the foot space as you see to me. There is much foot space and a leg room for an adult like me, and even when I spread my legs, we can have more foot space and more headroom. You can see that there is enough headroom for any passenger to sit in, but it's not room space, and then everything is in perfect shape. We are going to test also the audio system and see how the audio system fares in the Rogue Sport 2020, if it is still the same as the Rogue that we've seen over the years, or something special probably might have been added, which we don't know. But let's try to have a feel of the bike. So the Rogue, as usual, like you see, it comes with different dimensions, but this very Rogue has a different taste, a different clear-cut feeling. Imaginations are just absurd. You need to have a feel of how this is. When it's sitting, the first impression as the door is indicated on the dashboard. You can see clear-cutly, you You can see the cruise control. You have the pilot, autopilot, or probably systems like that. You can also have the audio system being embossed or listed on the steering wheel. You don't need to stretch your hand to make any kind of changes that you think you want to do. You just need to activate all these processes on the steering wheel. But looking at how this could fare against these other challengers or competitors in the market, that is what we are here to see. Just like the Murano 2020 edition, this also have an LED screen, but this looks much smaller than what the Murano 2020 has offered. But I think since this is a younger sibling and it's not coming much more in a more hostile manner, we think we have to expect more in the years to come. So this is the gear selection, a little bit different from the Murano 2020. There's one charging port here, linked also to lit your cigarette as well. We also have one phono port where you can put your all-wheel drive, and you can also have different options if you want to buy or probably look for other options as well. An all-wheel drive for a 2020 Rogue, this is insane. This is awesome. So with this, you can put the car, by pressing this, you put it in an all-wheel drive, and then you press this once again, it goes off as well. So we have the ecosystem. You also have pressing here, you put it in the sports, and then you lock it in the sports mode as well. With this, when you press this, you have the traction control. When the ground is slippery, the traction control, this is how it works. It helps the car to be able to have a perfect shape on the road, so that they wouldn't be able to slip off. The vents, well-designed vents and all that. It's a perfect thing, which probably I think everybody will expect to have over the years. And the air conditioning system. We have some cup holders here, and also from the other side, you also have enough space, and there is another place here to lit your cigarette, and there is a place to charge your phone within the armrest. Also, it doesn't come with a leather upholstery actually, which is unfortunate, but we have this plastics. I don't think this is a cheap plastic. It's okay for a car of its category, and I think it's a good bargain. Looking at this vehicle, how it will be for us to feel the sportier look and the sportier feeling, it is when it hits the road, and for us to test the suspensions to see how this car fares against its other competitors, like its bigger brother, the Murano, and probably the Toyota Venza and other class of Nissan vehicles like the Nissan Qashqai. This could be interesting. Come with me. Right, so ladies and gentlemen, it's time to put the direct injection 2.0 liters into action, putting up the power plant to full glare and listening to how the engine fares. Such an exciting and a more simplicity that you expect from a car like this. And you can see with the lights, it looks like halogen lights. As in this model, we have the S, the SV, and then the SL, and most people are still vying for the halogen lights because it's quite cheaper to maybe to afford compared to the LED lights actually. So we are going to hit the roads. Let's have a few feel of how the audio system works. So you can see it's just in a normal shape, just like the Murano, or as you can find in the Toyota Venza or the Nissan Qashqai. So it's within this same class, but with this, it has a smaller inch LED display compared to others. But the interesting thing is that it's a touch screen actually, and then the air conditioners it's actually in a good. So it's a proper feel. You can have the feel of the air condition when it is in its maximum dimension. everybody will be expecting to have more of this, and then as time proceeds, more of probably something that we can expect to see in the 2021 or the 2021 version of the Nissan Rogue. So we are taking it for a drive to see how it fares at this moment. Okay. So financial institutions, I know what I say. 98% of them. There are some big late submissions also by and I shares it. I tried upon October, so we get them. It's not my social. So we are buying way, are buying a more rich boy or coronavirus. I get. So we are turning. You can hear or probably sense how maybe the seat belt, anti-seat belt sensor is actually on. This car actually gives me a nice feeling compared to its bigger sibling, the Murano, because this comes with an awesome 170 horsepower, producing 6,000 revolutions per minute in 170 horsepower. This produces about 200 Newton meters of torque. So it's quite an expected car within this class because of this sports feeling. You can let go of the steering just like the Murano, and then the feel on the throttle is very smooth. It gives you that simplicity move, the sportier move if you want to put it in the sports dimension. So it's quite an interesting vehicle to have. Nothing has been taken out from this. Nissan has been a perfect car over the years, and then everybody would like to have this because of its proper feel. And then the suspensions for me is something that I love about this car. The suspensions are solid, the tracking on the ground is solid. You can sense as we passing through maybe the bumps and bumps, you can't sense anything of that sort. It's okay, and you can have the proper feel of a car of this nature. But then, what do we intend to see in the 2020 edition of the Rogue Sport? Is it more sportier than we expect to see, or is it just that it's just an overrated Murano or in this category? But I think this is a perfect car with the air vents, and then the air conditions are in perfect shapes as well. You can see the control panels and the infotainment system. We can toggle between the channels if you want to listen to radio and other class of music. It is possible. We can do a lot of toggles, and with this it gives us a proper feel. Yeah. So this is one thing that I want to look at in any car of this standard. It is a car full of simplicity, but it's a car of pride. A lot of people keep saying that, why should I buy the Rogue 2020 Sports? Because it's like overpriced version of the Nissan Qashqai, or in the same category like the 2017 Qashqai. But I don't think it's the same. It has a different feeling. The angular momentum in this vehicle is when you are trying to negotiate a bend, or probably going around roundabout, you can have that proper feel that it has a very sharp feeling when you are turning, and when you are descending. Looking at this transmission, it's very smooth. It doesn't make much noise like the V6 3.5 liter, or maybe the V6 5.7 liter as we have the Infiniti QX80. It doesn't do any of that. It is so gentle. It's not so rapid as you expect, but it has much more feeling, or looks like the Qashqai. So let's see how it fares if we have to hit the throttle so hard. Which provided jobs for 100,000 unemployed people. We are on course to remedy the situation more permanently. So we are making a sharp turn. This is what I'm talking about. The angular momentum in this car is no-brainer, and I'm going bonkers at the moment, trying to have a proper feel of this car at this very moment, because it is giving me a nice feeling. And even as I turned, it has the lane departure warning. If I want to negotiate a bend, if I want to depart and enter a lane, it gives me that feeling. It gives me the sensors are on point. And if I want to press the throttle so hard, you can hear the 2.0 liter engine making a good feel and giving you a nice feel. And even as it is, a lot of people will ask me, why am I so in love with this? One thing I'll tell you that this car is fuel efficient. That is why I recommend you buying this very car from Mirrozy Autos. I'm going to leave the link in the description, and you can contact Mirrozy Autos in the description, and then you have a proper feel of this. Test drive the 2020 Rogue Sport and tell me how you feel about it. Don't forget to leave all your reactions in the comment section. How this car is faring at the moment, it's absolutely fantastic, and I'm going head over heels for the feeling this car is giving me at the moment. And living on stone unturned, I think Nissan has done a very good job over the years. And to me, I've enjoyed the air conditioning system, because unlike other air conditioning system, when put on, it takes so long for it to be able to fill the space and then clear the air out. This is so much simpler, and then it acts much more smoother. So I think this has all been because of the air filling. The headrest, the armrest and the headrest are in a comfort shape. The only few things I think Nissan would have done about the 2020 Rogue is actually the upholstery within. It doesn't come with an leather interior system, but it has other versions which you can opt for, which has the leather interior version. So this is actually more plastic than we expect it to be. I'm going to negotiate a roundabout. Let's see how it fares here quickly. So this is how it fares. The angular momentum is exactly as I expected in a car of this nature. The beams are so fantastic that you can turn the head beams, the headlights, a proper view when you are driving through the dark or if it is getting late. And so with this, I think this is something to write home about, and everybody to me will probably opt for this. So living on stone unturned, I love this. The performance on the road has been exquisite, and I must confess, this for some few minutes, I think spending less than 17 miles per gallon on the road or on the highway, and then probably combine around 23 motors, I think this is an awesome definition of what we expect to have over the years. So it's a fantastic look. They have done so very well. So something that we expect to have over the years. Can I leave it? Thank our dealerships so very much for these awesome revelations that we really have at the moment. So it's something I must confess, I'm going head over heels. I'm going head over heels in this very Nissan Rogue 2020. So ladies and gentlemen, this is how far I've brought you. This is Vehicle Screed, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do well. Subscribe to the channel. You have to support Vehicle Screed. Shout out to all my friends from Asia and across other parts of the world. So this is how far we've come to today's review. We'll be looking at a lot more of the vehicles that will be coming in the 2020. We'll be probably looking at the Highlander and some other few or other class of vehicles that I'll be touching on. Thank you so much, and join us for the next time. Love you, and this is Vehicle Screed.